Hello everybody, and welcome back.
Hello.
How are we all doing?
I'm really tired.
I'm great.
I already had to mute myself to cough.
Wow.
We're all doing great then.
So in this
Doing
incredibly subdued session, no, let's nip that in the bud straight away. So let's begin this week's session by asking. Well, I'm gonna begin by asking, what did we do last time?
Gav, you do it.
Yeah, I was just say
I'm too pissed to do the recap.
that is.
I need a
entirely fair
moment.
enough.
I need a
you
moment
have a
to
moment.
just zen.
Just
Get into V's character.
Get into the
Just
mode.
happy flowers,
Trees.
watercolors.
Right.
Water, please.
Anyway, right, yeah, we left Ross Gate. We were off. We left. It's gone. It's bye.
We left that ages ago, but yeah.
Yeah, that was last session. Gav, please.
What?
We started in Silver.
We
Yes, we
got to Silver.
You left
Yeah,
Silverbrook.
there you go. We left Silverbrook. We got to Silverbrook. We asked around. We talked to the druid who was there, who gave us the letter.
Yes, you met Prudent
Um,
Buck.
We did. Lily was there. The letter Lily got from Lady Silverbrook turned out good. Lily is still going strong. She's now an apprentice. She's doing well.
There,
Everything's happening.
going strong.
Yeah, going strong. Yep. I always do that. My bad. Fuck.
It's cause like Lily is like generally a female name, so like even I do it sometimes.
Yeah.
Lily,
Anyway.
they're very cool. They're doing good. Yeah, so we rested up there, caught everyone up, and pretty much immediately we were off again, taking the druid's notes to
Another druid.
another one of the another druid.
Well, specifically
Maybe
to
the
the
Druid
Druid
Circle.
Enclave, yes.
Yeah, taking it to the druid enclave, which
Druid
was
Circle.
a several-day trip in which some stuff happened. Some very friendly things. Everything went perfectly fine, and we totally didn't smite the shit out of some undeads that got utterly wrecked after some weird
Well.
cultists, like blinded Arya.
Yes. Some cultists attempted to spring ghouls on you guys, which you very expertly dispatched, but the culprits got away.
Yeah, oh fuckers.
Uh,
Not much else happened.
Claris had
Uh,
a terrible
I was gonna
dream.
say, I had a
Claris
horrible
had
dream.
the biggest fucking nightmare ever.
that and you took a small detour to do some monster hunting.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And we killed the big. We don't have to kill the Chimera now. We need a lot of radiant damage because we found an albino, like four-armed gorilla thing that was
Gorellan,
the
yes.
same fiery thing.
And I got some seashells.
You got some
And
seashells.
seashells.
Yeah, someone
Yes.
opened V's bag, took out a load of things, and put in some seashells instead.
Yes.
Kelariis had the nightmare to end all nightmares, although we both know full well that it's not going to end all nightmares.
I wish it would end all nightmares.
Right?
So then we arrived in. I've already forgotten the name of the town. Fuck.
That's-
Simondel.
Simondel. Well, it turned out the druid we were supposed to be meeting was already there. Because she was chilling in. We went to the tavern to initially book rooms because we were going to stay there and then head up to the druid circle. But there was a note saying that she was already there and just chilling out.
In the graveyard.
Yeah, chilling out in the
Yes.
graveyard, talking to her dead husband.
Still
And it was very, very, very
No.
happy and romantic and not in any way sad.
Hmm.
And then so we went back to the druid circle with her.
Yes. Lyssatas
When we
Nerien.
delivered the notes, she had a private conversation with V, mentioned
Thank
she had a
you.
job for us to do, and then we ended.
Yes, we ended with her saying, I have a job that you might be able to help with in the meantime.
Yeah.
And then it was like
Uh,
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
OMG.
Vondal was
Like
like,
the thing,
what would this be? And then dun dun dun, we ended.
The best part was when Lyssatas was just like, I need a private moment. And I gave Elowen to Kelariis.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kelariis is still sort of holding Elowen just kind of awkwardly.
Yeah,
Oh, I'll take Elowen back.
Okay.
just while we remember.
Yes. Right. Just gonna take my keys out of my pocket because they're digging into the side of my leg.
Good job.
Just a little tingling.
Slowly being murdered by keys.
Yeah.
Accurate.
So, you find yourselves hanging on Lyssatas' every word as she says, I have something that you might be able to help with. And she pulls from a pile of things. Well, she's probably still in her backpack. She pulls from her backpack a small note that she quickly unfolds and begins to read some things to you. Basically, she explains to you that a few days ago, a young woman went missing from Simondel in the middle of the night. This, whilst unusual for a small town like Simondel, people don't usually tend to go missing. It's not unheard of. And a detachment of Wild Hunt members, including two of the young woman's brothers, went to look for her. People expected to hear back from them within a day or so to sort of let them know how the search had gone. However, neither the woman nor the Wild Hunt search team have been heard from for at least 3 days.
Shit.
This ordinarily would be just a regular matter for the hunt to look into. However, one of the hunt patrols mentioned that they recently found a presence of unusual magic somewhere in the forest. And as a result, as the sort of experts on magical goings-on in the forest, the druids have been involved. Ordinarily, Lyssatas would go and look at it herself as a, technically retired member of the Wild Hunt, but still honorary member of the Wild Hunt. It would ordinarily be Lyssatas' task to look into this. However, she would rather spend the time looking at the notes she's been provided in order to help you. So if you are willing to do this for her, she can work on it whilst you are gone.
Sure.
Yeah.
We can do that.
See why not?
We can totally do that.
Cool. Lyssatas sort of thanks you for agreeing to take this on. And she gives you the rough location of the presence of unusual magic that was reported by the hunt. And she marks it on your map.
The classic NPC thing. Let me mark this on your map.
Yes. This has been a running joke that Helena and I have been going on about for the last couple of days.
I know you guys. You two are just having running jokes without us.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We need to anchor you back with money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Indeed.
Come back to our jokes.
Play along with Second Age Bingo.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Now on the red button. But yes. With that, basically, Lyssatas says, I need to get back to doing my research, looking through these notes and trying to absorb as much information as I can. However, if there's anything I can do to sort of speed your journey along, or if there's anything that you sort of want to look into whilst we're here, the Druid Circle will accommodate you to a degree. Whilst you are here as my here as guests of the Circle, I basically must ask that you that all of you stay away from the central hall. Basically, it's a private area for high-ranking members of the Druid Circle, and sort of we'd appreciate it if you didn't wander around and get involved in stuff.
So we're gonna do that, guys.
No, we're not. No, I'm not say very well.
You can go there if you want, but
No, we don't want to though.
she has asked you not to.
We very much don't want to do that. Do we, Luka?
Who's Luka?
No. Who's like,
Good.
the
Right,
fuck
moving
is
on.
that?
Fuck is what?
Right. Yeah. So, do you have any questions you'd like to ask, or things that you would like to look into, or maybe try and get your hands on? Do you want to do any shopping or anything before you head out? The location that Lyssatas marks is probably like half a day's travel away.
What time of day is it now?
Well, you decided to stay overnight in Simondale, didn't you?
Yeah.
So,
So it's morning.
well, it took you a day to get to the Druid Circle, so it's probably evening now. So you probably don't want to leave until tomorrow morning.
Sleep and head out.
Is there anything you want to sort of get before you go?
No.
I don't think so. We have enough. Yeah, it's not like we need like a lot of supplies or anything.
Okay. If you've got everything you need, then we'll go on ahead. Yeah. So. Yeah. Basically, the druids offer you as guests sort of a place at the table for meals. So you don't need to deduct any food or anything like that. And then you can take a long rest. So make sure your sheets are refreshed before you head out. Oh yes, and of course I need a save from somebody.
Arya's
Yeah,
gonna
whose
do
turn
it.
was it? Was it your turn?
I fucking ain't touching that thing for a while.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
that is fair enough. If you're-
You did miss a roll in Simondale, but I will, because I was the one who forgot about it, I will say that nothing happened on that.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay.
Oh no.
Doesn't really matter, man.
I actually need to roll some
Luka
dice.
cheats.
I don't cheat. If anything, you cheat.
It's mad hacks.
Right, okay.
If anything, I'm vicariously cheating. Helena.
Look,
So sad.
Right. So Arya, once again, like as you've almost begun to grow accustomed to, you sort of you experience another one of these odd illusion visions. This time you are seated fairly high up on a sort of a plateau that overlooks basically a very steep drop to a set of grey stone cliffs that seem to be well, it's a series of greystone cliffs atop a plateau with lots of sort of sharp, jagged ground underneath you. And sort of as you are aware of yourself in this meditation, there is basically a shield wall of skeletons that are sort of trying to edge you closer and closer to the edges of the cliff. As you sort of sit there for a few moments, sort of being aware of, oh, I'm in this vision again. One of the skeletons sort of jabs at you with a spear and sort of reflexively you just sort of like turn it aside as if it was a regular weapon attack. You sort of just move to one side and step aside from it. But it sort of you do so, it passes through your shoulder and you feel nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you expect that sort of like, were you to back away from this edge, you would eventually reach the edge of the cliffs and then fall off. But of course, in your vision, the skeletons seem to sort of try to bother you, but you are unmoving because, well, you are aware of the fact that it is not real.
Yep.
But yeah, unless you decide to interact with the vision, nothing happens.
Nope.
Okay, so you wake up from a strange vision feeling somewhat perturbed because it was kind of annoying trying to meditate with an illusory skeleton trying to poke you all the time. But you awake refreshed nonetheless. Yes, and with that, let's turn the town music off. You guys... Nope. Here we are. Head out into the forest once again. I need a map marker. Let's copy that one.
Wait, why are we on the big map? Wasn't it only like a half a day's of travel away?
It is only half a day's travel away, but I'm going to show you where it is.
An evil castle appears to have materialized.
Yeah, it's just the only map
It
marker I
just
have.
looks like a tiny temple.
Yeah, tiny temple.
Small temple.
Yeah, it's the only map marker I have, so forget what it actually looks like.
Strange magic is causing a tiny temple to appear.
Yes. But yes, you can set out. Oh yes, you left your horses in Simondale, didn't you? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't make a huge amount of difference. So yeah, Ranger, you can lead the party, and I will roll some dice.
Do some ranging.
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Whoops.
Okay.
Tiamat swoops down and attacks.
Tiamat swoops down and
no.
attacks. Yes.
Well, was nice knowing you guys.
Everything but that.
Now, knowing Ferrous, there's probably a 1% chance that we all just watch Tiamat fly overhead.
Okay.
What's that?
Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
No,
Uh,
it's
Oh, it's a
Tiamat.
fucking dragon.
No, it's
It's a five-headed
I would like all of you to make me perception checks, however.
Flourish wants to
As
fight
Bahamut
dragon.
flies overhead.
Oh shit!
Man, that would be impressive.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh, what's in the worst?
Oh,
Oh
nice.
no!
Oh. Standard Vondal perception.
Okay.
I have good perception.
So
Standard, that was a religion check.
it gets to about midday when you guys decide to just have a small break for something to eat. And you don't stop for very long. You tend to sort of like eat as you move. But you do stop briefly. Probably actually as you come to the other side of the river, as you cross the river. Oh yes, I need to. Well, that's 2 natural ones. Good, get those out of the way.
Hooray!
Amazing.
Okay. So the first thing, Arya, that you are aware of as you're sort of getting ready to go off again, is there is a shift in the wind, very briefly. And unlike it should be at midday in the middle of the forest, the wind is bitterly cold. You might almost say icy cold.
Sounds promising.
And no sooner is your attention brought to it than it very quickly sort of fades away and the sensation is gone. But there was something there for a moment that just... It was unnatural, to say the least. And as you look around, you spot... actually, you probably see... Yeah, you see what appears to be maybe two small figures, probably not more than 3 feet tall, sort of slinking about amongst the trees. They don't seem to be sort of looking in your direction. They seem to be focused on something else. But they are moving around in the bushes, probably maybe 40 feet from your current location.
Okay. Can I alert the others to this?
Yeah. Are you trying to do this quietly?
Yes.
Give me a stealth check with advantage. Okay, yeah, that's that. You quickly motion to the others and alert them to the presence of these figures. The rest of you are now aware.
Can I like see what they are?
They are basically they're shoulder height, sort of into the bushes, so it's very difficult to see exactly what they are. But whatever they are, they are, at least the top of them seems to be hairy. Give me a nature check. Okay. They seem to move in a sort of almost a sort of very jagged sort of movement. They seem to twitch from place to place, and they're constantly sort of like looking left and right. They don't look like anything you've ever seen before.
Should we try and investigate?
Should we just let them be? If they haven't seen us.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
They're trying to stay hidden.
I don't
normally
know.
up to, friendly things.
Are they trying to stay hidden, or are they just kind of in the bushes?
They seem to be stealthy in the sense that they are naturally stealthy, and they are moving around in thick bush that is quite clearly sort of... This bush is sort of like maybe 2 or 3 feet, or the undergrowth is 2 or 3 feet high in the place where they happen to be standing, and because they are 3 feet high, it conceals most of them from general view. In fact, because it was only Arya that spotted it with her tracker senses.
I mean, we could try to investigate, but I don't know how close we can get without being noticed.
Well, they are only like 40 feet away from you. They're not that far away from you. They are, however, moving away from you, sort of like slowly. They're sort of like I would. They're moving through the bushes purposefully, but it looks like they're going somewhere that you like it's in the opposite direction from where you are. They don't seem to be sort of doing anything in particular. They just seem to be moving cautiously through the undergrowth.
I mean, if they're not attacking us.
Yeah, I don't really see any reason to get involved.
Alright.
Okay.
Just keep an eye out for if they're maybe still behind us at some point, but...
Well, you sit and watch them for a few moments, and they very quickly disappear off into the undergrowth. And then you don't see them again. And you head back to the road. It's probably only maybe an hour and a half later that you are sort of coming up on the location that Lyssatas told you about. At which point, I would like... You all have innate magic, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody give me an Arcana check. V and Arya, you can have advantage.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice,
Okay.
Kelariis, nice.
Yeah.
Look,
So-
it's fine.
Hey, at least it's not a natural one.
It's
Yeah,
true.
it's pretty
I mean,
close.
it's about as close as you can get to it, but it's
Wait,
fine.
I'm the only one
To
with not
it. Nice
not
one,
a
Arya.
neutral modifier on Arcana. God dang it, guys.
Hi.
You're the only one with
Look.
intelligence, remember?
Yeah, you're the smart one.
Oh yeah.
You're the book smart one.
Right. So, as you approach this location, Arya, again, you feel this strange cold on the wind every now and again. And as you take maybe another couple of tentative steps forward after feeling one of these gusts, V and Arya, you are both immediately aware of a change in the ambient magic around you. And Arya specifically, you recognize this. This is a similar sort of sensation that you experience when you're at home in the Feywild. Only there's something dark about just the general vibe of the magic. This isn't the comfortable sort of feeling. This is the darker side of the Feywild. You haven't quite strayed across a boundary yet, but there is certainly a Fey presence here.
Lovely.
Let's hope everybody doesn't fall asleep again.
It's not the same. The previous one sort of felt warm and welcoming. This one feels very much like it doesn't want you to be here.
Great. Great, great, great.
It sounds lovely.
Well, the rest of you aren't aware of this. It's just suddenly colder.
I'm still aware something's wrong. Things don't just get randomly colder.
Could do.
Well,
It's a little bit early for autumn.
put it this way: to Vondal and Kelariis, it merely feels like it's like the wind picks up and you're like, oh wow, that wind is really cold. To V and Arya, there's some presence here.
Shit.
could say there's some bad shit TM.
There is.
Accurate though, apparently.
Yes. So,
So
the Arya
that's
aware, Kelariis, Vondal unaware.
I guess I sort of talk to Arya about it, like sort of like, I don't know, there's something in the air.
Mm-hmm. I can feel it too. Feels like the Feywild.
Last time we were in like a Fey place, it felt different though.
Feywild has many forms that it takes. What
Yes.
wild magic will do for you.
Yes, much like the material plane, the Feywild shares its number of pleasurable places and simultaneously darker, unwelcoming places.
Yeah, can't you elves just be predictable for once?
And they'd be dwarves.
Oh,
Yo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's I mean, you all say that, but that's the point.
anyway, we should proceed carefully.
Okay, you proceed
Last time we met
onwards.
a creature.
Okay, the first thing you guys would be aware of, as you move forward, Arya, you probably would notice this without needing to look. There are patches of ground that seem recently travelled. And Arya, with your ranger knowledge, you can immediately identify the fact that a large number of creatures have passed this way frequently, and many of the tracks leading towards, in the direction that you have been heading, seem to be of some creature dragging another creature.
Good.
You can tell it is you can tell it's creatures rather than things, because there are occasionally like marks of blood or marks of a scuffle.
Mm-hmm.
And in one location you find what seems to be like a scrap of clothing. It looks like a sleeve of some white shirt. Not a particularly fancy shirt, just sort of a regular plain shirt. But there is a scrap of it torn and basically left on some brambles. These drag marks for a ranger are basically as good as a signposting, so you can follow it very easily.
Right.
So if you choose to follow this, I'd like all of you to give me perception checks and a stealth check if you're going to move quietly.
Yeah, probably best to.
Actually, considering Arya's ranger ability, I guess you can have advantage on the stealth check.
Perception and stealth.
Perception and stealth, yes. And remember, you're not wearing armor, so.
Oh
Should I
shit!
get advantage on my perception?
I'm afraid not, no.
No.
Stop.
Okay.
Hey yo.
Hey, look at that.
Hey!
Oh my
Nice.
god!
Advantage on the stealth roll.
Holy
Yeah,
shit,
fuck
yo.
my life.
That's
0 for stealth, boys.
Yes, but it's a 17 because you have advantage.
Woohoo!
No advantage on perception.
Okay.
Christ almighty.
Well, that's
So-
fine. We have enough perception.
I'm off to a good start, guys.
Thanks to Arya's guidance, you move cautiously amongst the trees
I'm actually the least stealthy right now.
in the
Oh.
direction of these drag marks.
This one.
I'm distracted, okay? Please think.
Okay. As you follow these drag marks further, again you feel more and more of this cold, unwelcoming presence, and even the very sky itself seems to get darker around you, even though it's the middle of the day. And who has the highest perception? Yeah.
Again.
Right.
My
So
range of senses are tingling.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense because Arya, you feel a cold against your skin, and you turn to sort of face the direction from which the cold came, and you spot basically moving amongst the trees is a hooded figure, not unlike the hooded figures you saw previously that were constructing the circle. It appears to be similar sort of height, body shape, and robes. They are thick black or thick dark grey robes. The figure that you spot doesn't seem to notice you, and seems to be moving in the same sort of direction as you are, but he is moving very hurriedly, and he is making no sort of effort to be stealthy about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, actually, as you spot him, he's probably a decent distance in front of you as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he seems to be unaware of your presence.
Well,
In a couple more seconds, he will disappear out of sight.
okay, I'm going to tackle him. Or attempt to.
He's probably a bit too far away for that, even if you
Okay.
were to sprint.
Hmm. I don't know what else to do, really, then.
In that case, he disappears
Follow
off into
him.
the
I
trees.
guess just follow him.
Okay, you want to
Yeah.
follow him? Yeah, no, you can follow him.
Just
Uh,
fucking follow him.
He is headed in the same direction as the sort of the drag marks. And after a small period, you reach a clearing. Well, a fairly small clearing. You guys are probably actually a little bit further back than that. And actually, probably even a little bit behind Arya is currently. Actually, you're probably not even that close at this point, but I will leave it for illustration purposes. As you see the man in robes arrive out of breath, where he meets up with another familiar group of robed people who are standing in the center of a clearing. And they seem to be those who are not turned towards the robed man as he approaches seem to be looking into what seems to be a large sinkhole in the middle of the ground.
Hmm.
And actually, as you look, you see that they are not actually focused on a sinkhole. They are focused on what appears to be another robed figure lying face down in the grass in front of the sinkhole.
That's not weird at all.
Yeah,
Nope,
definitely not.
totally normal.
Old man laying face down on the floor. Nothing weird about
As the robed man that you saw approaching arrives, you see him he arrives in the clearing and he's sort of catching his breath, and he steps towards the figure in the center, who turns around. Arya, you see it as that it is a female beneath the hood. And as she opens her mouth and speaks, you recognize the voice and the language. As she speaks to the man in Abyssal.
Oh.
And she says, quickly tell me, what have you found? To which his response is to shake his head and say, nothing, no sign of it. Which seems to only make the woman more upset, who proceeds to kick something in the grass and curse in a language that you don't speak.
Wow.
Yes, she speaks a lot of languages.
Apparently.
Yeah, she curses in a language you do not speak, and seems to turn her attention back towards the figure who is lying in the grass. What are you guys doing?
Does the figure have like a white shirt on?
No, he seems to be wearing the same grey robes that everybody else is wearing.
Oh, right.
I'd like to take this moment to remind you that none of you are wearing armor. Well, except Arya.
Hi.
This dude's just face down on the floor. Is that the face down dude? Or...
No, I will mark the face down dude.
Yeah, who's the face down dude?
Well, he is not actually one of these dudes. He is, maybe not there. Probably there. Where that purple square is.
Oh.
From the appearances, he seems to have, perhaps he climbed out of the sinkhole and then collapsed, because he is facing out, like, away from the sinkhole. As you guys observe, the woman walks up to the face down man and sort of begins to like prod and poke him, and she's muttering under her breath, which you can't quite hear from here.
Does anyone else think these guys are like crying out for an AoE right now?
Right. I want to fight him.
I'm a little worried that none of you are wearing armor.
It's fine.
It's okay,
Fine.
the healer's here.
So fighting is not going to get us any information.
I know.
Yeah.
You can just go non-lethal. Knock out the woman. Knock the woman unconscious, tie her up, then when she wakes up, start asking questions.
That's a fair point.
This is a very ominous
God.
dice roll.
That's definitely.
Well, several seconds are passing, so they're getting to remake their checks.
They don't know we're here. We knock out the woman.
Look, I say we keep watching until something happens.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna keep watching.
Yeah.
Okay. After a maybe a minute of prodding and poking at this downed person, the woman stands up from the prone body, turns to the others and says, she says this in Abyssal, so only Arya understands it. But she says, "It's no use just standing here. We need to find it. Without it, we can't get the book.
The book.
A book.
A book.
Boy.
And the sentence she speaks immediately afterwards is, spread out, look for it, and don't come back empty-handed.
Hmm.
Mm.
I think now's good.
And they begin to walk away
What? Ooh.
in various directions.
I mean, we could.
You guys probably aren't that close, so don't think they're like...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is just for visual representation purposes at the moment, unless it becomes a battlefield, in which case...
How far back roughly are we then from these two who are clearly closest to us?
Well, I would say you are at least 10 feet away from the edge currently.
Okay,
So you can tell me between... Like, tell me, are you 30 feet away? Are you 60 feet away? Are you what? But minimum is 30.
I'm probably the furthest behind, but
Yeah, probably the furthest forward.
Well,
I'm
just
probably
tell me
right-
who's closest.
Behind
I
Arya.
am
I is
closest.
probably
Yeah.
closest.
How close are you?
I guess 30 feet?
Okay, so you're quite close to them.
But I'm also stealthing like a boss.
You asked.
That's what I perception like a boss.
Oh, can you remake me stealth checks?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, here we go.
is this still with advantage or nah?
No, no longer, because they're now searching for you.
Not searching for us.
No, they are searching though, so they
Oh
are
boy,
more
here
likely
we
to
go.
spot
Oh
you.
god, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Vondal, fuck me. Well,
High
we're gonna
five
get spotted,
me.
boys, so...
Stealth boy!
Yeah.
Fuck.
This is bad.
Yeah, so basically what happens is, as you guys are sort of sitting there working out what to do, the masked man or hooded man closest to you sort of is looking around. He looks up and he spots basically that V, you are standing like far back in the trees.
I was wanted to see her. She's just an innocent dryad.
He draws a scimitar and he says loud enough for you to hear, but also loud enough for his comrades to hear, "Halt! Who goes there?" And I'd like everyone to roll me initiative, although you're not technically in combat yet.
No.
No.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no!
Off to
A
back to
Vondal.
tradition, boys.
Lamau.
Traditional Vondal.
Why are you so shit at initiative?
Because I have -1 dex, okay? I'm not a very dexterous person, right? I'm
That's
4'4", I'm quite stocky, and I'm wearing full chainmail.
Well, we're
Leave
not
me
working
alone.
on it right now.
Well, yeah, not anymore, but still.
Yeah.
I'm a stocky person. I weigh more than you, but I'm also shorter than you, right?
So, yeah, there are two, okay.
Lay off.
Yes, remember to roll Lyra into the initiative order this time.
Does she get double rolls or just one?
No, she only gets one.
Sad.
She does not get the benefit of the multi.
Roll thing.
Yeah. Okay, so. Wow, you're still all rather high in comparison to them.
Really,
So,
even Vondal?
No.
no, literally only Lyra and Vondal are slower than it. So yeah, effectively, draws a scimitar. Who goes there? Arya.
Fuck 'em up.
Okay. Well,
It's go time.
good time.
Go time.
Should have gone sooner, but okay.
Go time to go.
What time?
Go
I'm
where?
gonna
Go
shoot
downtown.
this guy.
Okay, draw an arrow and fire.
Boop.
God, but
And
doing
then
art right
Lyra.
now would take way too long.
Phew. It's gonna run up.
Lyra does not get a go yet
Yeah, it's not Lyra's turn.
Oh right. I'm
because
so
we're
used
gonna
to
do it in the initiative order this time.
Yeah, it's not Lyra's turn.
saws.
Because yeah.
Yeah, don't draw an arrow. Art is an inappropriate reaction to this.
It's not what draw means.
Cav,
Yes,
one day,
okay,
I will
so-
meet you.
And
Well,
I will no longer have a face.
Yep.
It will just be a hole in my head.
Okay, the guy who's drawn his scimitar gets hit in the shoulder with an arrow, and they all promptly, well, actually, some of them draw scimitars, and some of them draw short bows. Yeah, the guy here... Oh, sorry. No. Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong tool. The guy here... The guy here... Actually, I'll mark them so that you can tell the difference.
Hmm.
In fact, actually, I'll just mark the guys who have swords, because that's easier.
Hmm.
These two have scimitars.
Got curved swords.
Yeah.
Curved swords.
And with that, it becomes a fight. No. So I will play this.
Pretty cool fight in the woods.
And Suri music.
Right.
Are you going to do anything else with your thing? Because remember, you're still technically off the wall. Actually, I can extend this page temporarily. Let's make it... Okay, you're going to be on the white bit, but... So yes, Arya... In fact, I can need to extend this even further because you said you were 30 feet from the closest guy. So... Actually, maybe I don't. And Lyra would be next to you. Kelariis, Vondal, and V, you can sort of deploy roughly where you would like to be behind Arya.
I would have been like, oh, sorry, V.
Yeah, I will say, considering you guys were stealthy, you're all in light cover, so. Wrong color.
Oh, that's not the right tool. Sweet.
Yeah, that's basically like some bush cover for you guys.
What's that big bush?
Well, it's not one big bush.
No, I know.
It is a number of bushes that I cannot be asked to draw individually.
It's a shrubbery. It's a shrubbery. This is actually the forest in which the Knights of Knee reside.
One of the cultists raises his scimitar and demands your shrubbery.
Damn it.
Shit.
I always
No,
knew
that
this
is
would happen.
that is not what happens.
Bring us another shrubbery.
There's another shrubbery.
Then cut down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring.
Yes. The woman in the middle, seeing, actually, she probably calls out. Oh God. She probably just says, "There they are. It's them. Kill them." In Abyssal, before she begins to cast a spell.
Uh-oh.
Not today, bitch.
Magic.
Are you going to do anything?
I'm very scared that we're all grouped up here.
I know.
So I don't think this is in range for my counter spell.
Oh,
Hold on, let me roll it for a sec. 60 feet. Y'all
Yeah.
fucked.
Okay.
we're all fucked.
She waves her hands in a gesture, and you watch as she completes the spell, and she seems to almost collect the darkness around her, if that makes sense. And it seems to form a protective coating over her and her robes.
Oh, that's
Oh.
kind of lame, actually.
Give me an Arcana check.
Your name.
Wow.
Oh, all of us are doing Arcana?
If you want, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
Cool.
please, because apparently me and V don't shit all.
Hold on.
Cool.
Can we roll above a 10?
Oh!
Kelariis!
Boom!
Only Kelariis.
Kelariis, you recognize this as the first level spell, Mage Armor.
Oh. That was
That's
Lame.
fine then.
mage armor.
Yeah, so her AC has changed.
It's magic.
10, 9, 9, 20.
Yeah, no, 20.
I need to check something else. Yeah, that does take up a whole action. Oh yes, and with her free hand that she's not casting with, she draws a wicked-looking curved dagger.
I thought you were gonna say she like flipped us off or something. I was like, alright. I guess.
She
Flips you
really
off.
doesn't like us, guys.
She really hates
V, it's your go.
magical flip off.
I'm going to be interested to see how you come across this fight, seeing as you said something to me the other day.
Yeah. I'm gonna pass.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what?
I'm genuinely gonna pass on my turn, guys.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stand here.
Not just holding it, just passing.
No,
You
I'm legit passing.
Yeah, okay.
I hold my staff, but that's kind of it.
Okay.
Um,
Kelariis.
now I'm really concerned.
I mean, look who can reach that guy.
Okay.
V just sort of looks around a little bit nervous.
Alrighty, let's take some swings. Not the longsword, freedom.
Swing.
Swing!
Okay.
Oh, that was a sad roll.
Yeah, as he's sort of trying to recover from the arrow in his shoulder, you cut him down.
Oh. Well, shit.
Oh, is he dead? Oh.
They're only cultists.
Yeah, I guess.
These are just like scrubs.
They are mortal men.
These are like the foot soldiers from Power Rangers.
Well, I guess I'm fucking
Punch-
standing
punch-
here.
You punch them in the
Yeah.
chest and then they explode.
Okay, yeah. You cut them down. The other cultists sort of see one of their companions go down, at which point, again, the woman shouts to them in Abyssal, "Come on, you fools, what are you doing? Don't just stand there, there's only 4 of them."
We also just down one of your dudes with 2
5.
strength,
No,
so...
when there's 5 of us.
You know, there's 5 technically.
Well, technically they haven't seen Lyra yet, so...
Oh, well.
Too sneaky.
Also, I haven't
'Cause-
done anything, and I got a nat 20. They haven't seen me.
Oh yeah, no, true, they haven't seen you either, so...
Haven't seen me.
It's only 3.
But they do know there's 4 of you, so...
Oh, true.
Gasp.
Uh,
That's racist and not include my wolf. Thanks, bye.
okay.
That's quite the right word.
Yeah, the
Luka
the
said
cultist
that-
with the
Shit,
scimitar
I did.
decides, fuck this shit, I'm going in,
I'm going in, boys.
Ooh, regret that.
and he's gonna take a swing at Arya. He actually manages to catch you off guard as you're bringing your bow arm down,
Oh, shit.
and hits you for 6 slashing.
Ow. Bitch. Gonna regret that.
Meanwhile, 2 cultists launch arrows at Kelariis, and the other one aims
Hey-o.
at V.
How dare.
How dare.
Your AC is 18, isn't it, Kelariis?
I don't have armor right now.
Oh yeah, no,
So-
yeah, shit. So what is your AC without
no.
armor?
Shit all.
12.
It,
So I
No,
should get a
it's,
shield, at least.
it's 10 plus
13?
10 plus Dex plus Shield.
I'm
Oh,
just like a shield.
13? Real bad?
Yeah, okay, so only one of these is going to hit you.
Could be worse, could be 11.
That's true.
It was not a crit, so that is you take 3 piercing damage as
Oh.
an arrow skims your shoulder.
Ow, my shoulder.
And V, you sort of attempt to duck away from this arrow, and it sort of grazes your side for 5 piercing.
Oh, by the way, okay, no, never mind. Wait.
Hmm?
So it hit me.
It hit you, yes.
We're
5 piercing.
still in low cover, right?
Yes.
Okay. So 5 damage. Okay. Ouch.
Yeah, the cover is not thick enough for you to give it to give you what's it called? Oh yeah, shit. Technically, he would have had to move to that because it's just a tree blocking him, and he probably would have moved as well. Actually, he's probably going to take cover behind that tree, as is that guy. Yeah, the bushes are not thick enough to give you like any advantage on your check, but for like purposes of your hide, you could hide in it.
Oh shit.
It is now Lyra's go.
Boop.
Sick.
Okay, that's a hit.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Nice.
That's a lot of damage.
That is a lot
Yeah.
of damage.
Seeing him duck under your guard, Arya,
Lyra's pissed.
Lyra jumps him, dragging him to the ground, and yeah, I don't need to explain the
Don't
rest.
Like the dogs from Call
Yeah.
of Duty. It's just you're down and
Yeah, there's a scream and a crunching noise, and
he's dead.
yeah, he's down. Vondal.
Go, Lyra.
Let's see. I'm gonna go. I'm debating whether or not to leave the cover. Yeah.
It won't give you that much benefit.
Yeah, I probably will.
It makes you slightly harder to hit, maybe, but
Maybe.
There's a question
yeah.
there.
Okay, I'm gonna go there.
Well, in the rules, light cover gives ranged attackers disadvantage, or low cover gives ranged attackers disadvantage. But this isn't enough to be counted as low cover, but it'll probably give you like maybe a +1 to your AC against ranged attacks. Maybe +2. Probably +2 actually.
And thinking of who the big threat is, and a guiding bolt the center lady,
Okay,
or at least try to.
give it a shot.
Oh shit!
Okay, yep, that's a hit.
Thou hast been smitten, milady.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, you blast her with the bolt, and she sort of reels with the impact. Ah, yeah,
Wow, that's actually a lot of damage.
that does a lot of damage. Yes.
I'm gonna shoot this guy.
I'm gonna shoot that guy. Okay.
Yeah.
He is behind a tree,
Oh,
so he does
that
get.
sucks ass.
You do get disadvantage, but
You can move.
that's still a hit.
Look at that damage though, guys. That sucks ass.
That is really
You
sad.
really
Yep, that is
we need
minimum
to-
damage.
Yep. What is it with you involving minimum damage at the moment?
I don't know, my dude.
you're
Well,
doing
Lyra
alright.
got like crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Lyra got like 1 away from max.
Yes.
I got 2 5s and a 6 on
I
46.
know.
So, yeah, you send an arrow shooting towards this guy, and he uses the tree for cover, but it still sort of nicks him in the side, or probably actually in the leg, actually. And yeah, it seems to do a significant amount of damage to him, but he's not down yet. The woman needs to check her spells momentarily.
Hold on, guys. We
well,
gotta. Yeah, check my
Just goes,
spells.
time out. Just goes, time out. Hand motion. Just starts flicking through a big book. I know I left that spell somewhere in here.
Well, she probably does actually pull her spellbook because she does have a spellbook. She is a
Oh, shit.
wizard.
Yeah, wizard.
In a wizard, we are cultist lady.
And she says, yeah, probably again in Abyssal. She says to her compatriots, Very well. If you are so useless that you cannot help me in life, then you
Ow.
will serve me in death.
Oh, lovely.
Whoa.
And she casts Animate Dead.
Whoa!
And she... Well, after that, she is going to run into cover.
That's no good.
Wow, you're a
Uh,
bitch too, aren't you?
Yeah, they all are.
Fantastic.
And
lost.
yeah, so the guy who was lying on the ground next to her, you now assume must have been dead, because he gets up and begins to shamble towards you.
Fun.
Uh,
Wait, is it just him?
It's just him, yeah. She only
Oh,
casts
okay.
it at 3rd level, so...
Well, that's fine.
The zombie.
Bleh.
So he did have a token this whole time, he just didn't use it, because otherwise it would have given the
well,
game away.
I wasn't necessarily going to resurrect him.
Hey!
Uh,
Someone who's worse than
Holy
Vondal!
It is a freshly raised zombie.
Somehow he's on a -2.
Yeah.
He technically rolled the same as Vondal.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Fucking zombies, man.
He just gets up and goes, "What is life?"
Baby, don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me.
V.
Why are we doing this? I said life, not love.
Close.
I'm just...
What do I do? This is really hard.
God damn it, V.
I'm sorry. Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna follow Vondal a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm gonna stay here.
Good idea.
Wow.
You
Stand next to
you
the
you
melee.
stand up, decide to make a break from the bush, and then go. Actually, no.
Just kidding.
Step back in the bush.
Back in a different bush. No, it sounds like something Zoe would do.
Alright, Kelariis, you go.
Oh, okay. You're
Okay.
ending. Claris.
Oh my god.
Alrighty.
Arya's gonna shoot V a look like.
What are you doing?
Like, yo, what up, man? I'm gonna come take some swings at this
Just, oh
dude.
shit, what up?
Okay.
Oh shit, what up?
Yeah.
Hello, freedom.
Okay.
Wow, that is
He
shit.
he's in the process of stringing another arrow. Stands up, turns around. You're right in his face, and your sword is through his neck before he can even react.
You've rolled minimum damage twice now.
I
Yeah.
know!
Also, your minimum
Yep.
damage still one shot.
Yeah. They only have 9 health.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm gonna move.
Oh,
I guess
my emotions have been broken.
that direction to like right there.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Just run over there, stab him through the throat, and run off in the other direction, guys.
Yep.
Just the
That's
average
the life
day.
of Kelariis Greysurge.
Okay. The cultists remaining sort of exchange looks of trepidation, but seem to be almost afraid of the spellcaster as they are of you. And they are going to level 1 arrow at Kelariis and 1 arrow at Vondal.
What's the plan?
Hmm.
I moved in front of V for a reason.
Vondal, you raise your shield and block the arrow. Kelariis, you
Wow.
don't quite get it up in time and take 2 piercing.
2 piercing.
Yes.
Okay.
Cultists. Not very good.
Yeah, the arrow sort of like clatters off your scales, but not before it draws blood.
I am mildly irritated.
Lyra.
Nicks you a little bit.
Hmm.
At least you don't have to make wisdom saves anymore.
I know. I almost said, oh shit, gotta make a wisdom save. I was like, I don't have
Nope.
to. So nice.
I guess she's gonna go here. That's all she can do. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, I can reach him. Nice. Sweet, am I going then?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, you'll go.
Right, since I can reach him, it's hammer time.
Okay. You want me to put the hammer down? Yeah, that's a hit.
Boom.
Cool.
War priest.
You don't need to.
Okay, perfect.
You swing with the warhammer and you hit him with the side and you hear sort of ribs crack and you're not sure if he's dead, but he goes down quite heavily and is probably bleeding internally.
Good. Make your move, zombie.
A zombie goes, brains, and shambles towards the nearest target before swinging at you with its arms.
Whoa.
Oops.
Oh,
it doesn't. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I can fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take 3 bludgeoning damage as it hits you in the arm with its arm.
Sweet.
That's one dead zombie. Or at least
Arya.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot the zombie.
Okay.
Pew pew.
Pew!
Nice.
That's better.
Big
Nice.
damage.
Ayo.
Cool.
Maximum damage.
You fire this arrow in towards the zombie, and it pierces it through the heart.
Ugh,
Nice.
But because it's a zombie, it doesn't kill it.
motherfucker.
Zombie.
With that, to check the okay. Actually, she's probably gonna. Necromancer steps out from her hiding place, assesses the situation, and I'm gonna make an intelligence check for her. Okay. She is going to take note of the positions of everybody, and then is going to wave her hands to cast a spell.
Oh boy.
At
Hey guys,
the
you are
only
really
target she can
bad.
actually hit with this.
What?
Nice knowing you guys.
Oh,
you
nice
say?
knowing you guys.
I said you are really cramping our style.
I'm sorry.
Kelariis, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw as this woman attempts to suck the very life force out of you.
Oh great. Fuck.
Wow. Okay,
Great.
that is just enough to save.
Shit.
Hooray!
You take. You take 16 necrotic damage as she blasts you with energy and attempts to sort of drain the life force from you.
Fantastic.
V.
I get the feeling she's healed.
Okay, I'm gonna.
You can roll me an Arcana checks if you want to try and work out what that was.
No, okay.
Oh, never mind.
Holy
Vondal.
You guys
shit,
don't need to.
You know that was a necromancy spell called Blight.
Oh,
Oh.
not what I thought it was then. Oh well.
So I'm gonna move up here.
At least I think it's a necromancy spell.
Pretty
I'm
Yeah,
gonna-
Blight is necromancy.
I'm gonna drop my my stick, my big stick.
Okay.
Like I said I pulled it out earlier.
Okay, drop the stick.
And I'm gonna shoot at the zombie with my short bow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very good thing you saved from that.
Yeah.
88 damage.
Yes.
Fuck me.
Cool, that's a hit.
Yay!
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
You hit the zombie in the side with a short bow.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, with the arrow. You don't hit him with a short bow. You just go there, just throw the short bow at him. Kelariis.
So, I'm sorry, the zombie is still alive?
The zombie is still alive,
Oh.
yes.
Alive.
Yeah.
He's still undead.
Well, I guess I'm hitting the zombie.
Okay.
With a sword.
Yeah, with a sword.
Sword.
Good old sword.
Hit it with a
Yeah.
sword.
You hit it with a sword.
I hit it with my sword.
Sword.
Drive me closer. I want to hit them with my sword. Is that everything?
Sorry, what was that reference to?
Is it still alive?
No, I'm asking if you're adding anything to it.
No?
No. Okay.
No.
You cleave into the zombie, taking basically a large chunk of its torso. It doesn't seem to give a damn.
Holy shit. Alright, I'm
Your paladin thing.
gonna do the paladin thing. I'm gonna do the paladin thing just with
Okay.
the first level spell.
You swing
So-
again.
Yeah, what is that, 3d8?
Yes, because it's undead.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, cool. I need to do some quick math. That's 23 overkill, so it cannot pass its Constitution saving throw, and it dies instantly.
Jeez.
You sear through this zombie
Why
with radiant light.
I'm gonna actually move
Yep.
there because I don't like what she just threw at me.
Take cover.
Well, Kelariis is a little less reckless right now because she doesn't have a lot
Yeah.
of armor.
Yeah.
That's fair. Good idea.
She's
I'll make some
learning.
fun next time.
Yeah, you can feel sort of like old wounds like reopening from the necrotic damage, and yeah, it's not a good sense. The one remaining cultist fails his panic check and decides to take cover.
Okay.
Check.
Yes.
He's terrified of
God.
what's just going on.
Yeah.
He's terrified little cultist.
Yes. I roll panic checks for my human NPCs when they are the last few remaining members of their unit,
That makes sense.
because
Yeah.
not everybody wants to
Right.
fight to the death. Not even evil cultists.
Yeah.
Okay, Lyra's gonna go here.
Okay.
Slowly moving towards this guy.
Hunting.
Yeah, basically.
Vondal?
Yeah. I'm basically just gonna say, bad move. And
Okay.
I'm throwing another guiding bolt at the lady.
Okay.
Phew.
Because she fucked up. I'm blasting her in the face.
Okay.
That's
Yep,
on third level
that's a
this
hit.
time.
Wow.
Third
Okay.
level this time, boy!
Nice.
Cool.
I'm just gonna make extra sure I'm hiding behind this tree.
Okay.
Beautiful.
You
I'm
you
now
pop out.
behind the.
You pop out from behind the tree, launch this guiding bolt towards her, and like basically she's just finishing like she's just finished the spell casting of the blight. Sees Kelariis run behind the tree, goes to her spellbook, flicks the page over, looks up, and takes this guiding bolt straight to the face, and she sort of spins like from the impact of this thing hitting her, and like hits the ground with a heavy thud.
I say that's non-lethal damage.
Yeah, let's not kill her.
Yeah, you can say that's non-lethal. Yeah, her spellbook sort of like skitters away into the undergrowth.
That extra damage rolled max.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Arya.
Yep.
He's in full cover, so
That's the first time I've ever outdamaged Kelariis.
Oh yeah.
And that's because Kelariis rolled kind of shit and I rolled really cool.
So
Hmm.
very good rolls.
Okay, I'll just move up here then. Hi.
Hey. Bro not
Cool.
in combat.
down.
Yep.
Feet.
I guess I'm gonna pick my staff back up because I don't want to leave it lying
Okay.
here.
Yeah. Well, we can say you sort of like, you stick it in the mud and it stays fairly standing up.
Fine, but there's nothing else I can really do here. I don't think I can
No.
shoot from here.
He's in pretty good cover from wherever you can go. Kelariis.
Is it just that guy that's left?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
In fact, you know what? I'll take us out of initiative because he is not going to do anything because he's goddamn terrified. You can kill him, like arrest him, do whatever.
Arrest
Yeah, we should
him?
leave him alive too.
Hey,
Just-
should we try to stabilize the lady? Oh no, she was sorry, it was non-lethal, right? You
Yeah,
said.
non-lethal. She's just unconscious.
Yes.
Oh well, I'm gonna go fucking kill that guy then.
No,
No, but then we have
That's-
someone to
No,
fact
because
check.
we have the,
we have
the
the witch or the wizard.
But even then, she might be lying, and maybe this guy's too terrified.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I say that as Helena, not as V.
I don't know.
Kill versus save.
Whatever,
Vote.
do whatever you want.
I mean, I'm personally gonna kill the guy unless somebody stops me. So make my way over there.
Yeah.
Oh God, she died.
Like,
Okay.
I'm
Vondal's just otherwise engaged. 'cause he's
Kelariis disappears off behind a tree, and you hear no.
That poor man.
Step back out like nothing happened.
Vondal looks,
Just wipes the sword.
And then wipes the sword.
Vondal looks slightly disturbed, but he just keeps walking.
I'm gonna put the music back on.
And yeah, I'm gonna like check she is stable, or at least just unconscious.
Yeah, like she is. She's probably actually just like on the floor. Like her magic has dissipated. Like she's disarmed. She's sort of lying there in like sort of a state of half consciousness.
In that case, I
This
would
is
like
music
to...
is really loud.
Wow, yeah. I'd like to search her for like focus or like components or any spellcasting stuff. I want to take her spell book away, and I want to tie her up, and also gag her, if possible.
Well,
I've got some rope. I
she
don't know what I can gag her with, but I've got
she doesn't
25 feet of
seem
rope.
she doesn't seem to have any particular like focus on her. It may have been like part of her spell book. But she's carrying she's very weakly gripping sort of a dagger that you take out of her hand.
Yeah, take her take the spell
Um,
book, tie her up.
Yeah. Well, she makes no attempt to resist, so you can do that quite easily.
Can I lay on hands myself?
Yes.
Good idea.
Just
Swing.
as a thing.
Yeah. You feel life energy rush back into you as you bless yourself.
Yeah, I'll do like. I'll save some. Oops.
Right, and then those him turn to his companions. Just go right. So that's right. So when she comes round, we can get some information. about
Well,
what the hell's going on?
you can wait here for
There we go.
8 hours, or you can heal her back to consciousness.
Oh
Can
yeah.
I just like
I guess I'm
wander
looking at
off
everyone,
and
making sure everyone's ready.
can I wander off and look at the pit?
Yes, you can. It's a big hole in the ground. Give me a. Whoops! I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh,
Quick,
no.
Control Z.
Well, I just dragged it back in from the list.
That works.
Give me an investigation check as you sort of like look in this hole. Cool.
Nice.
You can see that this is. It would seem to be a sinkhole that descends into a natural cavern, but there's no evidence that this natural cavern belongs here. Like it's the entrance to it is not supported. There's no it's a natural series of caves in a hole in the ground, which just it doesn't make any sense. Like this doesn't belong.
Right.
you would say it was man-made, but it looks natural.
Weird.
Strange.
Is it dark down there?
The bottom of the hole, you can see the bottom of the hole is maybe only like 10 feet down. But there is like when you reach the bottom of the hole, there is an offshoot that leads further down that is very quickly shrouded in darkness.
Cool.
Yeah, don't go down the hole.
I'm going to.
Alright, so let's establish what do we need to know.
Well,
Um,
I guess like the standard. Who are you?
who are you? What are you doing?
What is this hole about?
Who are you working for? It's the standard cliche interrogation.
Yeah.
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 Who, what, where, and why?
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, right, here we go then.
Okay.
Guess I'll have to heal her.
Oh right.
Oh, I mean, I can just like here.
You're
Actually,
like-
oh,
I've
just
done it.
fucking
Okay.
kidding, I guess.
You
I just-
heal
too
her
late,
up
I've
to 8 hit points.
I've done it now. It's too
Just
late.
gonna poke her and
Okay.
give her one back, but
Her eyes flutter open. She isn't sort of like fully aware of you yet.
Right, in that case, I'm just gonna say poke her with my warhammer and just go right.
Okay.
And just say, what are you doing here?
She grimaces as you poke her, and this action basically causes her eyes to focus on you, and she basically one side of her face is sort of like badly scarred in a way that doesn't seem like it was caused naturally. It seems to sort of be like a she's been like burnt and cut repeatedly on one side of her face.
Lovely.
But yeah, like sort of that side of her face doesn't move so much, but the other side of her face sort of forms like a almost like a rictus grin. But she doesn't answer your question.
Poke her a bit more firmly.
Okay.
Who are you?
Sorry, V is asking that question.
Yeah, I'm asking that.
Okay. She turns her attention towards you. And she seems to like consider you for a moment before she says, oh, how do you... She forms like a the... I don't know how best to describe this. It's essentially through a grimace and clenched teeth, she says, "I suppose I am a messenger."
For whom?
She turns towards you and says, "If you don't know that, then you are dumber than you look."
Wow, bitch.
What's the message to him?
She turns back to you and says, "It was supposed to be your death."
Ooh.
obviously you're not so
Super
great.
edgy.
The message was not intended for you. You were to be the message.
Not done very good with that one then, have you? Now what do you... So that's what you're here then for. And what's with the hole?
She regards you and sort of says, it might. My mission was to be your My mission was to be your destruction. This oddity proved to be an interesting distraction.
How so?
She looks at you and sort of says, its inhabitant took something of mine, something very important. We tried to get it back, but it seems he has some plans as well, ones that we could not foresee.
What did he take?
A book.
What book?
Wouldn't you like to know?
That is why we asked.
Can I give her a solid kick in the ribs?
Wow, okay.
Look, she's insulted me like 3 times in this conversation.
Roll 1d4 for me. Cool.
Well done.
You
That's
hear
solid.
ribs snap.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she takes 4
Well.
bludgeoning damage from you kicking her in the ribs.
Don't do that too much.
I just give her a little taste.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Jeez.
If you think hurting me makes me any more likely to answer your questions, you are gravely mistaken.
Well, maybe you should just answer them anyway.
We're looking for an elven woman and some wild hunt members. Seen them anywhere here?
She shakes her head and says, "Nothing to do with me, I'm afraid."
What is this other thing you were looking for in order to retrieve your book?
She turns to actually, Actually, no, because she didn't see you take it, so she sort of looks down at herself to see if she is still carrying her her spellbook. Sees that she is not carrying it and says, "It is a charm for my spellbook. It was misplaced by one of these." And she sort of looks towards the piles of dead cultists and says, "Cretins. It gives me certain abilities. It was a gift."
What kind of abilities?
She'd probably answer that honestly. She looks at you in the face and says, "Protection."
From what?
You'll have to climb down the hole and find that out yourself.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Fair enough.
I think I'd much rather you just told us, honestly.
No, I think I'm done answering your questions. Now, send me back to my master.
Why would we do that?
You don't have much of a choice.
Do we not?
You have 2 options. Well, the way I see it, you have 2 options. Kill me or release me. Either way, I'll end up there.
I'm pretty sure there's a third option that you're just not seeing.
I suppose we could just leave you here,
Why don't we take her back to the circle?
or even that. 4 options.
They can deal with her.
She just seems to smirk at you.
I mean, what is the circle going to do with her if we do take her back?
Imprison her, presumably.
Well, yeah, but
I don't think that's a good idea.
I also don't necessarily think she's worth that effort.
Yeah. She has tried to kill us twice.
And failed horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also that.
And I make sure to look at her as I say that bit.
She smirks back and says, "For now."
You say that as if you will succeed.
Why are you doing this?
I thought that was simple. You have meddled, and your meddling is no longer being tolerated.
No, I mean, why do you serve him?
That's a good question.
Oh shit.
I'm not sure she could. I'm not sure she can explain it in one sentence. So I guess she just sort of looks at you and says, "Most people are too naive to see it, but there is one inevitability in life, and that is the end of it. I am merely postponing mine."
There's nothing wrong about that. Our spirit simply carries on.
And you really think your master would happily extend your life? What he's done with you, he doesn't care.
Oh, he has.
You know what? Honestly, given your master, I wouldn't be surprised if 2 failures was enough to end your service.
Give me an intimidate.
Sure,
This is
why
going
not?
to go so bad.
I believe in you.
Well, you won't lose anything for failing this.
Oh shit,
Oh,
son!
Okay.
Oh shit, yo.
You watch as a flicker of uncertainty passes over her, and she drops the pretense of being in control, so to speak, for a moment before she sort of composes herself and says, "It is no matter. I will serve him in one way or another."
And you want that?
She seems to have a moment where like her composure isn't quite all there, but she says, well, she says, my master has my master has done things for me that mortals have never done. It is unlikely that you would understand. And either way, it is too late for me to back out now.
How so?
She stares at you long and hard and sort of says, when a patron brings you back from the brink, usually they expect a degree of service in return. My life is tied to my master's. His survival, my survival relies on his.
Like we're kind of reaching an impasse here.
Yeah, but I want to get through it.
No.
Ugh.
Okay, out of character question.
Yes.
Could there be any kind of potential workaround? Like, I guess part of me is wondering if I can get the gods, like some of the gods involved on this.
What?
You
Like a chance of redemption, almost.
I very much doubt
No,
It's-
seriously.
I think you would need to be more powerful or more influential than you already are. Because to do that, you would... TLDR, she has sold her soul to the Abyss to serve her master. So basically, if he dies or if he relinquishes the power he has, she dies and her soul is irretrievable.
Well, no matter what this lady says, the person we're looking for was still dragged here, right?
Yes. Yes, there is quite evidently sort of drag marks at the edge of the hole.
Whether her book or her charm or whatever is in there. Or
I
not.
kind
I
of
think we
don't want to
still
find out.
You
we should be trying to look for this elf rather than
Yeah, from what has been said, the fact that the would-be assassins are here is merely a coincidence of them following you and falling into this situation themselves. The two are not exactly connected.
so we probably should be heading down the hole anyway.
Yeah.
The issue is
probably.
just
Yeah, seems like it.
what we do with this woman.
I mean, if we're done with her,
Well, I think then Vondal's going to sort of sigh, almost disappointedly, and just sort of go, "Okay, final question: what is actually in that hole?"
She looks you dead in the eyes, and she says, much as I would prefer to have the privilege of taking your lives myself, I think it would be more interesting if you were to go down there uninformed. But let's not. You have shown me leniency. I will show you some leniency. In the bottom of that hole are horrors like nothing you have ever seen. I can assure you that much.
Well, I was just going to sigh again in the same way, and he's just going to say, "Very well. And then I hope we meet again, that I might release you." And then, yeah, I guess we're killing her.
She responds to that with, maybe I will have the chance to release you.
And yeah, I guess bring the hammer down, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah, it's your minimum damage is more than enough to finish the job.
Vondal does not look happy about doing that at all.
Yeah. She smiles all the way through it, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm no surprise.
Yeah.
She's smart.
It's like neck snap, she just like smiling even in death.
Unsurprising.
You get the feeling that you didn't really kill her. You merely delayed her.
Meh.
Right. I guess we're off. There's only one place they could have gone.
Well,
Guess we're going down into this literal hellhole.
Okay.
yeah.
You said 10-foot drop.
It is 10 feet down, yeah. It's not that far. You won't even. You could literally jump down into it. You won't even take damage.
I'm just thinking, how do we get back out?
Yeah. The walls are slightly sloping, and the walls are only mud. So. Yeah, if you've got any methods of climbing out, they will probably work. Tying a rope to a tree is probably your best bet.
Yeah, that's
Exactly,
what I was
that's what I
going
was
to
thinking.
suggest.
Cool.
Because this tree's close, so if we just tie a rope around this tree,
Cool.
we can go down.
Yeah. Can we put on our armor before we do
Yeah,
that?
let's also do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can spend, 10 minutes putting your
Yeah.
armor on.
Iron V can tie some rope. We
Yeah.
will put our armor on.
Ah, yes. Best rope
Yes.
tires in the party.
Yes.
Tie-
Give me
that's
a
rope tie.
give me a survival check, Arya, because you've got 10 minutes to do this. You can't fail it. I'll just.
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Remembering what happened last time, you spend the full 10 minutes lashing this thing up, and you're
Quadruple check.
pretty sure it's secure. You test the weight
I'm
on it a
pretty
couple of
sure We could
times.
put a giant down this rope, and it would be fine.
Rest in peace, Helena, by the way.
I'm here.
Yep, she's dead.
Just help!
Wait,
Okay.
I'm here. I live a little
Oh.
bit.
Hi.
Good. We're going down a spooky
knows for how
hole!
long? Who knows for how long though?
Well, let's find out as we head down a spooky hole.
Okay.
Well, if you take a break, I'll probably.
Yes,
It's probably a good
we
time
will.
for a break, isn't
We will
it?
take a break as you begin to step into the scary hole.
Wow.